Hello and very good evening. My name is Vishal Yadav, and today with me I have one of the best all-rounders in the women's cricket, Chloe Tryon. Hi, Chloe. How are you?
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are things back home, particularly in South Africa?
No, it's been all right. It was a good festive to be at home with family. With COVID now, it's not that easy, but it was just nice to kind of just take myself away from everyone and isolate and be with them, and yeah, just spend some quality time for because I know I'm gonna be busy for the next couple of months coming up.
Awesome, awesome. And I must ask you, how's your injury now?
I'm good. I have no injuries, injury free. It's been a roller coaster for the last couple of months, if I can say a couple of years. It's kind of been a little bit up and down, been really good and then injured again. So I'm just thankful the last couple of months I've been injury free. Been working really hard, and I'm hoping I can just stay that way.
That's what we want. That's what the entire South African community and the fans in India also want, that you be injury free so that you can contribute with both bat and ball in the
Yeah.
South African lineup. But Chloe, you couldn't play much, right, after the T20 World Cup in 2020, of course, owing to this back injury. How has the last 2 years been for you, apart from the fact that it just flew? It feels like last month we were watching you the South Africa play against Australia in the T20 World Cup.
Yeah, it's been quite a while. Basically, that was the last competitive cricket I played just before after that, and I played into the Big Bash. But it was really tough for me. I felt like for the last 2 years, my cricket has gone a bit up and down. It's dipped quite a bit. And yeah, you can't really make excuses for it and say it's injury wise. I think I had worked really hard when I wasn't injured, so I had no excuse for that. So I felt that my cricket career did take a little bit of a dip after injury, and I think mentally I wasn't as strong as I would like to have been when I was playing. But I'm thankful that I took that time out and I got to really work on my game, work on my fitness, work on my mental strength. We've got a busy couple of months coming up now. So, the main goal was 50 over World Cup. So I just knew that I needed to be 200% ready for that. And yeah, it's still, the cricket has still had a little bit of a dip, but I'm thankful for the last couple of months of very competitive cricket back home here, and training really hard.
We are happy to see you back, Chloe. Uh, but I want to ask you, what has changed personally, for you after the T20 World Cup and the T20 World Cup in 2020? South Africa's performance was surreal, wasn't it?
Yeah, I took a lot of time after that. I know we had just gone into lockdown after that World Cup, so I wasn't at home for long before it was a complete lockdown. So I really got to learn about myself, learn about my game, and kind of just say you can't make excuses about this anymore. You've got to take responsibility and accountability when you play cricket, especially as a senior player. I've always said I wanted to win matches for my country, and I felt that I was just saying it and not doing a lot of it. So I kind of really had to just take a step back and say, stop talking about it and start doing it. So I was really hard on myself, and I think now I'm a little bit more mentally strong, where I kind of know my game a little bit more, and I've been working on a lot of stuff on my game. So I think that's really helped me quite a bit.
Awesome, awesome. So tell me about the comeback which you made in the women's 100. You're playing for the London Spirit, and I also saw an Instagram reel video that you did with Dipti Sharma. So apart from that, how easy or difficult was it to firstly make a comeback, and then secondly in a new format like the women's 100?
Oh, it was a fantastic format. And yeah, shout out to Deepti. We're really good friends. I love playing alongside her. And it was just nice to be a part of the London Spirit team. I love the culture that they had. It was just so good to get back into cricket from being off for a while. And new format, very different, but really exciting. And I think that was definitely needed at that time. And I know it will grow from strength to strength from now, but it was just a fantastic tournament to be part of. I loved every bit of it. I learned a lot. Didn't feel like I played my best cricket, but definitely took a lot of positives out of that tournament.
And if you had to highlight, let's say, one or two key takeaways from this tournament, which saw players from India, from Australia, I think not from Australia, but from English, of course. What was the main two key takeaways from this overall tournament?
Promoting women's cricket. That's been really big. If you look at the games that were played and the amount of crowds that were coming in to watch our games,
Right.
was just fantastic. And as women's cricket, that's what we want. I always said before I leave here, we definitely want to leave a platform for women to walk into this environment where people want to watch us play, and to have crowds and breaking records was just fantastic. So I think England really ticked off that box of making sure people came in to watch. People back home were just so excited about this new format. So it's promoting women's cricket, and letting it, the game is growing year after year, and having these more of these tournaments just help it a little bit more. So I think it was a fantastic tournament. I just know it's going to grow straight from strength, but it's just nice that so many people just came to watch women play, and we can just entertain as much as the men can. So we can take that away as well.
It was a great sight, especially watching the young girls coming with their parents. And even though, they might not understand the game of cricket, but they were enjoying. They were being part of that entire community and fan culture at the stadium.
No, the kids were just fantastic. You could just see how you, they love sport, and to look up to women's cricket players instead of the men all the time was just fantastic. They want autographs from the women. They want to come watch them play, and they look at them as role models, which is a fantastic thing. It shouldn't just be I'm a boy. I would look up to potential male players. It's just nice to see that women's cricket is just as good as the men, and we got young boys and girls looking up as to the females as role models.
Wonderfully added, Chloe. So the 100 got done, and then you made your international comeback last year, against the West Indies. But you got to play, I think, two games. How do you assess the entire, 2021 for you, for personally for your own self?
Sorry, I just missed out the whole thing. I think something just popped up on my phone. Can you just repeat
Okay,
that?
no problems. Yeah, sure. I'll repeat the question. I was saying that the 100 got over, and then you, got a chance to play against the West Indies. But I think you played just two games there. How do you assess the
Yeah.
entire 2021 for your own self?
It was good. It was good to play international cricket again. If you looked at how the team had played leading up to the West Indies, they had been playing fantastic cricket. I know Danae had missed a few games as well due to injury as well. So the way they played without senior players as well was fantastic. Players were putting up their hands, and we want our pool in South Africa to grow. So being in the West Indies and having the girls play and me not play, I was okay with that. I was obviously disappointed, but at the end of the day, um, we've got a really strong pool of players. We're looking towards a 50 over World Cup. We've got to get everyone to kind of put up their hands and see where everyone fits in. So for me, it was a lot about making sure these girls, once they get the opportunity, to take them. So it was nice that most of the girls got opportunities to play, and some players didn't play. So yeah, we're looking towards a 50 over World Cup. We need to make sure that we've got our strongest team there. So for me, it was just nice to be playing international cricket again for my country.
Awesome. You talked about girls taking up the responsibilities, putting their hands up on special occasions.
Yeah,
You have been with the team for a while now.
yeah.
How has South Africa as a team evolved over the years?
So much. If you look at it, when I started playing cricket, we used to meet up once a year for a camp and then a tour, and it
Wow.
was just like, okay, we never used to see each other again, and that was when I was about 15, 16 years old. And over the years, you can just see how the cricket has progressed, how Cricket South Africa has put in so much time to make sure we get training camps, we get games going on in our country and stuff. So and the different domestic leagues that we have. So for me, it's been a big leap, and I think it's just going to grow from here. Once the girls start playing more international cricket, more competitions overseas, to kind of grow their games as well. And the Cricket South Africa has done a fantastic job with that, and making sure that players are well looked after, domestic cricket and international, and playing in different leagues. So the game has evolved from going on tour once a year to being away almost like 9 months in a year is a big jump, but it's just seen how professional we've gotten, and how we've been taken seriously, and I think the team has proved themselves. Um, as a team that we deserve to be regarded as internationals and professionals. And yeah, kudos to the team. We've done really well over the last couple of years, and we've reaping the rewards now.
Absolutely. You talked about foreign leagues, you talked about overseas, tournaments and leagues, and which also brings me to, I think you have been a part of WPPL. You now played the 100. Uh, how much, these foreign leagues has helped in the overall development of players?
A lot. It really does help a lot. It's good playing international cricket, but um, going out there and learning from different coaches, your experiences and all that kind of stuff is always fantastic. If you look at how many players have grown from the different leagues, that's been really good. You get a lot of insights, and I'm just happy. Like last Big Bash, Annika Bosch was sent through there, and she came back with a whole lot of knowledge and like about her game and all that kind of stuff. So these leagues really do help. They help you develop as a player. It's nice to learn about different coaching styles as well, and things that you kind of picked up that you didn't before. So it's always fantastic to be able to go to these leagues and come back with a whole lot of experience. But I think the more you do it, the more you learn about your game, and the more you can kind of broaden your knowledge on it as well.
And a follow-up question to that, in case, and I'm sure it will, but in case if we have a full-fledged women's IPL in a year or two, which team, considering that we have the same teams in the women's format as the men's IPL, so Mumbai Indians, Chennai Super
Yeah,
Kings, Rajasthan Royals,
yeah.
which team particularly would you like to sort of play for?
I always support Bangalore, so I'd have to go with them. I've always supported the men. I'm really hoping that they can win a trophy. Um, the last couple of years they're playing fantastic cricket, so I would definitely support Bangalore if there was a women's squad side. I would love to play in it too. Um, but yeah, I'm really hoping that that can happen in the coming years. Now, I think India women have really played fantastic cricket over the last couple of years. They've been to semi-finals and finals. They really proved themselves. They put up their hands. So I think they deserve of a tournament like that.
Definitely. We talk a lot about women's IPL. I hope it comes to fruition. But the shorter format is definitely helping globalize the game. But, very recently we have seen India also played a test match against Australia.
Yeah.
You are one of the few lucky members, I would say, who had a chance to play a test match. What are your thoughts on the red ball cricket, and how eager or excited are you to play a red ball cricket again?
I love red ball cricket. I love watching Test match. I don't know if people just say it's boring, but I think it's fantastic. I was really happy to see that India got to play one against Australia. I would love to be part of something like that, and I'm hoping that I can introduce more of that in the international teams and not just the Ashes and obviously the game against India, but a lot more red ball cricket. I think that'll be fantastic for our game, and I'm hoping that it can come through. I'm hoping that after watching Australia and India Test match, they kind of started off for us, kind of started off for us all. Yeah, so yeah, I'll be really excited to be part of that. I think that's a really good format to play, and very different, but something to get used to.
Well, the men's are playing a test match in South Africa at the moment.
Yeah.
Uh, would love to see a women format as well. Hopefully, the Indian teams are invited in South Africa, and they get to play a test match against your team.
Yeah, I think we can start sending out invitations now and see if they can, if they like to come over.
They would love to, I can assure you.
Yeah.
Okay, so but Chloe, you also have a reputation as a hard-hitting batter,
Yeah.
someone who can clear the ropes at her will. Tell me, what do you work on, and how do you train yourself to sort of keep evolving with the nature of the game?
Um, yeah, I kind of just make sure I'm playing aggressive cricket. So I'd like to work on something specific in the nets. Every day is a little bit different, but it's just making sure I'm getting in good positions. Um, and I feel like it just comes naturally to me to be attacking player. I've really tried to like work on my 50 over game, which is what I've been trying to do. But I know with the T20 format, you're always going to be really attacking. and kind of take it to the other team. So I kind of make sure whenever I get into that onto the ground or in the nets that I kind of still play attacking, look for my areas. It feels like it comes natural to me. As a lot of people tell me, how do you hit the ball like that? And I'm like, I actually don't know. I don't work on just hitting the ball all the time. I think it's just really good timing, sometimes fluke. Um, but yeah, for me, it's just about making sure I'm in really good positions all the time when I'm playing the ball, and it kind of just sails over the boundary. So I think it works a bit. It works a bit on the power part. I don't know, or the timing, but yeah, it feels like it does come a little bit natural to me. So I try and just make sure I just get into really good positions and take it from there.
See, we definitely love it when you sort of hit over the ropes. But who do you personally enjoy watching? It could be a male cricketer, could be a female cricketer when he or she is in her absolute form.
I used to love watching AB de Villiers play. Mr. 360 just used to hit all over the ground, and it was so effortless that I loved to watch that. And as a South African cricket player, it was just exciting to see him walk into the field. And if you look everywhere he's played in the world, everyone just loves watching him play. So the way he comes in and how positive he is all the time, and he kind of knows his game, is just fantastic. So I loved watching him play. He's always been he's probably one of the best players in the world in his generation. So it was just nice to watch him just do what he used to do and come out there and entertain. And it's all about entertaining. So that's fantastic.
Couldn't agree more on that,
Yeah.
Chloe. Yeah, AB is a legend.
Yeah.
But I was also looking at the stats, some of your stats, and I found out that you have the highest ODI batting average against India. Do you enjoy batting against India the most?
Yeah, I actually really do. I'm not too sure what it is.
And why?
Maybe
And why?
maybe I'm concentrating a little bit more. So yeah, I feel like I really do enjoy batting against India. I think I made my first 50 um, in India. I think it was Bangalore, my first 50 against them. So it's always been good to play against them. They're one of the best teams in the world. So you always want to make sure you put your best foot forward and be switched on 200% when you play them. So it's always been a challenge against them, especially playing them in the subcontinent and playing them back home. They've got quality players, quality bowlers. So it's always nice that I got to score against them, and hopefully I can do a little bit of more of that.
We want you to do that, Chloe, without a doubt. There's so much that's happening, and there's so much that is yet to come in the 2022. Uh, does this year feel different for you with so much planned? There's World Cup coming. You also have a series against West Indies. We also have a Commonwealth Games happening in Birmingham later this year. Does this year feel different?
Yes, it does. It does. Obviously, with COVID, it hasn't been easy for the last 2 years. A lot of tours cancelled. Very different being in bubbles, traveling a lot. But this year does feel different. It feels like a really good year. It's a 50 over World Cup coming up. So I think everyone's kind of on the edge of their seats. You've got teams that have been preparing well, and you kind of feel like this year is going to be a big World Cup. Everyone's coming to compete to play and win. So it's good that we got West Indies early now this year and going into a World Cup and then Commonwealth. So I think it's going to be a very busy year, but a very competitive one. And I think the girls are kind of ready for that. We've got some time off in December to kind of switch off a little bit from the game, still focus and work on our skills and whatever, but kind of get into the mindset of, listen, 2022, we've got to hit the ground running hard, play a good series against West Indies, win a World Cup, and then go into Commonwealth games. So it does feel different. I'm really excited. I'm excited for this World Cup after it was delayed. So I think it being delayed gave teams more time to prepare, which is not good sometimes because the best you're playing the best of the best. But it's fantastic that it's coming up soon.
Well, it's happening after 5 long years, and the good part is that South Africa is doing extremely well.
Yeah,
I don't want to jinx it, but
yeah,
you talk about 2021. As a team, the team had some exceptional performances.
yeah.
Individually, also, if you say, there have been several match-winning performances from Daneman Nikirk or Minion Dupree or Shabnim Ismail. What's the overall mood like within the camp, Chloe? And how's the excitement building up for the World Cup?
The mood is really good. I think if you looked a couple of years back, a lot of girls would still get very nervous, anxious before a camp, a tour, but it just seems that everyone is in really good spaces. They've worked a lot on their game. With the game growing a bit more, we get more time on the field, so you get put in more scenarios and more situations, and you kind
Hmm.
of learn for those from those losses and those wins that you play.
Right,
So it's fantastic that we have girls. We've got a lot of senior players that are kind of the driving force in the South African team, and we've
right.
got juniors that are putting up their hands, and it kind of just gels really well together. Um, the girls are really in a good space. I'm happy to see how everything goes in the next couple of weeks. But it's just nice to see that everyone's a little bit relaxed. Obviously, going into training camp next week, just building on from there. But I'm happy with the mood so far. I think everyone's just excited for the World Cup coming up. There's a lot of build up for it, so yeah, so everyone's a little bit eager, and the juniors are hoping to get there and put their hands up. So it's nice.
Awesome, awesome. I know you are a bit active on social media, but I must break this to you that I read a lot on Twitter these days that especially from the Indian fans that after India, South Africa is the second most favorite women's team, and they want they want South Africa to win the World Cup this year. Your thoughts on that?
Oh, oh, that's fantastic. I love the India fans. They are very passionate about their game. They love cricket. I love how passionate they are about the game cricket. And I'm just thankful as cricket players, we can entertain them, and they follow a lot of us on social medias, a lot on our games. They watch our games. So let's hope they support us and not India if we're in the final with them. That wouldn't be great. But it's just always nice to have fans like that support a team like us.
Chloe, it was great chatting with you, and I'm
Yeah.
glad. I'm so happy that you're back. The injury is gone, and you and the entire team is all rearing up for the Women's World Cup. We're looking forward to seeing you hit those massive sixes, Chloe. Wish you all the best, and to the entire South African team.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Hopefully we can do this a little bit more. But yeah, for
Would
now,
love to.
goodbye.
Bye. You take care. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.